后面了啦，孩子都当医生了。Untung kerja doktor, gaji besar tu. Maga doktor pernah kau le, nalla sambal Saboknya jolo punya engliao lo. Homiao. So guys, this is what we always hear from public when they know you are a doctor or when your children are doctors, because this is the perception of the society towards the job of a doctor. But how true is that? This is the topic I'm going to discuss today. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new to my channel, let me introduce myself. I'm Subhashani, a medical doctor of 6 years since the year of 2015. In today's video, I'm going to talk about a doctor's salary in Malaysia, mainly in the government sector, which means employed by KKM, Kementerian Kesihatan Malaysia, right off from a junior doctor, which means house officer with the grade of UD41 up to a consultant. Before I dive into this video, I have two disclaimers to give. Number one, this video is as a guide to give you a rough idea on how much pay does a doctor get when working under the government sector employed by MOH. It might change from time to time, and there might be a little discrepancy in the range, so do bear that in mind. Secondly, year 2020 obviously has been rough on all of us, and year 2021 doesn't seem to look any different on us. This pandemic has affected all of us. Some have lost their job, doesn't have a stable income, and as well get their pay cut. So by me making this video, I hope it will not make you feel even worse. The reason me making this video is basically everyone thinks that doctor earns a lot. How true is that? Let me break the myth for you. If you have watched my previous video on housemanship, you will know that to practice as a doctor in Malaysia, you need to complete a minimum of 2 years of houseman training. You get your permanent post in MOH. During the housemanship or house officer visit, they are under category of grade UD41. You start getting paid on the first day of your PTM. We call it as a program transformasi minda, which will be held for 5 days. So that moment starts your salary. I don't deny that as a starting pay for a fresh graduate, a degree holder, for a doctor is way higher compared to any other degree holder from other field. There might be some field having almost the same salary, but as for a doctor, it's still considered as higher compared to most of the fresh graduates of degree holder. According to JobStreet Malaysia year 2019, her average pay is ranging from 1,949 ringgit to 2,836 ringgit. Whereas for a doctor, it starts from 2,947 ringgit. Guys, a little warning for you. This video gonna involve a lot of mathematics and calculation. During my time in year 2015, December, it was my first pay I got. My basic pay was 2,777 ringgit and 98 cents. That was my first ever pay I got from Ministry of Health. This salary is excluding the allowances. Let's go to the allowances. What are the allowances provided and are they taxable? I will give you an example on the salary breakdown of the house officer hired in year 2019 and later in 2020, because there are little differences. For a doctor with the grade of UD41 hired in October 2019 would earn a basic salary of 2,947 ringgit, which is a little higher than my pay during year 2015. We have extra allowances. First, as public service remuneration, which costs 300 ringgit, and then critical allowance, it's a fixed flat rate, 750 ringgit, and then we have flexi allowance, 600 ringgit. Total, it's coming up to 4,597 ringgit. Now it sounds a lot for a starting pay for a degree holder, right? After deducting EPF, SOCSO and EIS, the net salary you bring home is 3,965 ringgit and 55 cents. However, government has ended the critical allowance for the new doctors hired in year 2020, which means they are not eligible to get the 750 ringgit allowance anymore. Now, let's see how much pay would a new doctor hired in year 2020 would earn. The basic salary of 4,597 ringgit, deducting the critical allowance of 750 ringgit, which resulting in 3,847 ringgit, and the net salary you bring home is 3,382 ringgit and 95 cents. Assuming by year 2022, the doctor has completed their housemanship, finally upgraded to UD43. It's no more UD44, UD43 now. It's a good thing. Yes, you don't want to stay as houseman forever, right? However, this will result them in losing their flexi allowance too, which is you lost another 600 ringgit, resulting in net salary of 3,256 ringgit and 85 cents. This excludes the on-call allowance. Do you notice that actually a salary of a medical officer MO is much lesser than salary of a houseman? Usually, as what we know as most of the field, as I know of, their salary is usually in increasing trend, right? But this is the other way around. Let's go and have a look at on-call allowance. Before I start off with on-call allowance, let me explain what is on-call actually. Basically, only MOs, UD grade 43 onwards able to do on-calls. It means not for housemen. You go to work in the morning, maybe around 7 o'clock in the morning or earlier, depends. You are supposed to cover the ward to receive referrals from district hospitals, other KKs, GPs, and from emergency department as well, until the next morning you pass over to your colleague who is on call on that day. But it doesn't end there, because after that you're supposed to cover the OPD, outpatient department, meaning clinics. You go to the clinic and see outpatients. Depending on the patient load on that day and depending on your hospital, how busy is your hospital, the clinic can end at maybe 3 p.m, 4 p.m or 5 p.m, depends. If you had a bad call the night before or you have very good colleagues, as I said, teamwork is very important. They say like, "Hiya, it's okay, just go home. No worries, we will just cover it for you." You know, this kind of thing. So yeah, that is on call. So how much is the rate for the on call? During the weekdays, it is actually 200 ringgit per on call, estimating your on call lasting about maybe 30 to 36 hours. Average, it costs you actually about 5 ringgit and 90 cents per hour, and weekends is 6 ringgit and 50 cents per hour. This is shocking, right? Anyway, that is the pay. The on-call allowance was never revised since the last by Tan Sri Dr. Chua Soy Lek when he was the health minister. Therefore, until this day, the on-call rate is still the same. However, if you get your chance to work in government outpatient health clinic, they pay you as locum, 80 ringgit per hour. Can you imagine? You just need to work for at least 3 hours and you can earn more than your 1 day on call. Otherwise, you can also do locum at the private GP. The pay is around 40 to 50 ringgit per hour, depending on the location. Some cities, they pay you higher, up to 60 ringgit per hour, yes. Some lesser crowd clinics, they pay you lesser, even up to 35 ringgit per hour. Now you know why doctors usually do locums outside despite their busy schedule. You just have to see relatively stable patients, because most of the patients come to clinics mostly are considered quite stable. Rather than on calls, you can't predict what kind of cases you will need to attend to. I used to do locum every other day. Every time after my work, I do my locum 5 to 10 p.m. Let's say I get paid about 50 per hour. That one evening, I'm actually earning 250 ringgit. Some of my colleagues, even they do the overnight locum. You know, you have this 24 hours clinic. So after their work, go home and then fresh up, take nap, they'll go to the overnight locum up to the next morning. So yeah, another allowance that I have missed it is actually, we call it as COLA, the cost of living allowance. This allowance is depending on your location. It is set at 150 ringgit, 250 ringgit and 300 ringgit. In budget year 2020, the government has agreed to increase extra 50 ringgit for the call-out allowance. After 3 years of your UD 43, you will be upgraded to UD 47. After another 4 years of UD 47, you go to UD 51. After 3 years of UD 51, you get your UD 53. So guys, you see the fastest time from a fresh grad UD 41 to go to UD 53, it takes 12 years. I'm done for the salary as a doctor in government sector. I'm not gonna speak on doctor's salary on private sector because it is really unpredictable. It depends on where you work, you know. It's either you're working in GP or hospitals or your specialty, and also your location. I'm unable to comment on that. I hope this video has given you a clear picture on how is the doctor's salary scheme. So please think twice if you think you want to be a doctor for the sake of becoming rich. Thank you for watching, guys. This is the end of the video. I think there are a lot of calculations. I hope I don't confuse you guys. It's just to give you a picture on actually how much we do earn, because a lot of people having the false information on doctor's salary. You know, salary is a sensitive topic, so when it comes about money, we are hesitating to ask, you know, how much you earn. You know, these kind of things we don't feel appropriate to ask. So guys, this is the end of the video. It's the real end. Do drop your questions or comments at the comment section below. I will try my best to answer all your questions. Yes, do give me your suggestions on what kind of video I should do next, what kind of information you want to know in this field, and I will consider all your suggestions. Thank you for watching, and do give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video and you think if the video is informative. Don't forget to subscribe. If you want to watch more of the contents, do share the videos if you like it. So that's all for today, guys. Bye.